why successful love requires vulnerability. In a world that constantly tells us to be strong, confident, and composed, vulnerability feels almost like an act of rebellion. Yet, if we are to love deeply and be loved in return, vulnerability is not a weakness to overcome. It is the very foundation upon which intimacy stands. 1. What it means to be vulnerable. To be vulnerable is to show someone who we really are behind the polished surface, our fears, insecurities, odd habits, and emotional wounds. It means allowing another person to witness the raw, unfiltered parts of us that we often hide from the world. Our neediness, our fear of rejection, our irrational anxieties, or the remnants of childhood fragility we still carry inside. This openness is not comfortable. It feels risky, even dangerous, because it exposes us to the possibility of being judged, misunderstood, or rejected by the very person whose affection we crave. Yet, without this risk, no genuine intimacy can exist. 1. The mask of strength and its cost. Most of us have learned to survive by pretending. We present ourselves as calm, capable, unbothered, and emotionally self-sufficient, because that is what the world rewards. At work, such composure helps us thrive. In society, it earns us respect. But in love, that same mask becomes a barrier. When we hide our softer, frightened parts, our partner never truly meets us, only a carefully constructed version, designed to impress and protect. In return, they do the same. Two guarded people end up living side by side, each longing for closeness yet terrified to be seen. Love suffocates in this mutual performance, replaced by distance, misunderstanding, and quiet loneliness. 1. The childhood roots of vulnerability. Early lessons. Our difficulty with vulnerability often originates in childhood. As children, we depended on the emotional attunement of caregivers, a comforting embrace when we were scared, a patient ear when we were sad, the unsafe signal. But when those needs were ignored, mocked, or punished, we learn that showing emotion was unsafe. Perhaps a parent told us to stop crying, a teacher mocked our sensitivity, or friends made fun of our attachment to a beloved toy. Building the shield. Slowly, we buried our emotional self under layers of competence and control. We decided it was better to be admired than to be seen as weak. Adult threat. As adults, when love invites us to reopen those closed doors, to show the scared, tender child within, it triggers old pain. The very intimacy we crave feels threatening, as if allowing love in will reopen the wounds we worked so hard to seal. 1. Why we flee from our own softness. The shield persona. Many people reject vulnerability because it awakens the very parts of themselves they once had to silence to survive. The strong, independent persona they project is a shield built out of necessity. The uncomforted child. Beneath it lies a child who was never comforted, who learned to equate love with danger and softness with shame, pushing love away. So when someone now offers them genuine tenderness, they don't know how to receive it. They might withdraw, become sarcastic, or push their partner away, not because they don't want love, but because love feels too exposing. Their heart has forgotten how to trust warmth. 1. Relearning the language of emotional honesty. Strength. Reclamation. Wounded. Healing begins when we realize that the people who told us to toughen up were not wise, they were wounded. Our parents, teachers, or friends who dismissed our sensitivity were struggling with their own unresolved pain. They could not comfort us because no one had comforted them. Recognizing this allows us to stop idolizing emotional toughness and start valuing tenderness as strength. Vulnerability, then, becomes an act of reclamation. A way of saying, my softness is not a flaw, it is a sign of my humanity. 1. Love as a return to the self. Finding a partner who can meet our vulnerability with empathy is one of life's most healing experiences. For the first time, the parts of us that were once hidden or shamed are welcome. We can finally show the frightened child within, and instead of being scolded or abandoned, we are held. This is not dependency, it is emotional truth. It is how two people build trust deep enough for real intimacy to grow. Love, in its most honest form, is not a meeting of perfect adults, but of two imperfect souls. Two vulnerable children who have learned to hold each other with gentleness and understanding. 1. The strength of softness. Paradoxical strength. Paradoxically, when we dare to be vulnerable, we become stronger. Not because we have no fear, but because we are brave enough to face it openly. Vulnerability transforms relationships from performances into connections, from appearances into authenticity. Strong, soft, capable, fragile, adult, child. It teaches us that to be fully human is to be both strong and soft, capable and fragile, adult and child, all at once. And in that brave balance lies the deepest, most enduring kind of love, the love that sees everything and stays.